Hello and welcome to the Gentle Musings podcast, a space for souls of all shapes and sizes. Have any of you ever thought about if the things you pursued or are pursuing, are they really what you want? Is doing that what really drives you? What makes you happy? What makes you glow from the inside? As I got older, not that I'm very old, but as I grew up, I began to find myself asking these questions. Questions that really require you to look into yourself and give an honest answer. For me, I thought that I had to like what I was doing. I mean, that should be the ideal state, and I still think that way. But I seem to be chasing an impossible ideal where I wanted to like the job, the scope. I wanted to like the team, the boss, the company, all at the same time. But over the years, I found this quite difficult. I don't want to say impossible because you can always build your own dream team or set something up of your own and you can create the culture you want. But by and large, out of the three criteria of salary, job scope, and company culture, these are my three criteria. I find that usually one of these has to give. So that kind of led me into rethinking my choices. Did I really have to chase that salary and be so dogged about doing what I like doing? You see, the downside to liking what you do is that there would be others who are on the same team who don't. They are just doing it as a means to an end, as the job was meant to be. So they are not wrong. But to me, the difficulty comes in here when people are misaligned in a way where I want to treat my job as something I can gain fulfillment from. So I do my best. And by extension, I hope and want everyone else to do the same. While they do not ask that much from their job, and so it does not make sense for them to extend this much effort. When I was a bit younger, I would get so annoyed and pissed off. But the longer I worked, the more I realized that people work for different reasons. And it is not fair to judge others by what your ideal standards are, because their ideals could be different. To be honest, I think I'm still trying to really understand and accept this. And I'd say I'm lucky to have some good bosses along the way where they've taught me a lot. And I'm so grateful for them. I've seen how they deal with things at the workplace. And it's just, I always feel that I have so much to learn from them. So, going back to talking about questions that I ask myself, this is another haiku, and I titled it Introspection. Sometimes I wonder, is this organization the real me even? Organization here doesn't refer to the company I'm working at, but rather organizing things. So, the organization of things like organizing my bookshelf, organizing my desk, things like that. I realized that when we were younger, we've always been asked to do things like pack our bags, keep our rooms neat and tidy, put the toys in this area, study materials, another area, and so on. I'm sure this varies person to person, but I felt like I've been told that a lot, a bit too much, to the point where I'm being asked to place, for example, the tissue box at a very, very specific place on the dining table, and it cannot be placed anywhere else because then it won't be in the right place. So, when I was younger, this was normal, asking us to place things neatly and all. But as I got older, this made less and less sense. Because of the specificity of some of these things, it felt obsessive and illogical. So I don't know if this focus on putting things in their right place carried over to my own behavior. But there was one day where I realized I had a sketchbook reserved only for drawing animals. And I suddenly wondered if that was weird. And I began to wonder if it was really what I wanted to do, or did certain external environmental factors affect me. I don't know if this makes sense, but I was momentarily confused in a way. Then it led to me thinking more about, am I doing what I really want? This episode is kind of lengthy, and if you're still here, thank you for listening to my thoughts.